3 very scariest Instagram horror stories. It started with something so small, so insignificant, that I almost didn't notice. Just one of those little blips online that you shrug off and forget about. I wish I had paid closer attention. I wish I had seen it for what it really was. It was a Sunday night, quiet, uneventful. I was lying on my bed, scrolling through Instagram like I always do before falling asleep. My friend Maria had posted a picture of her dog, Max, wearing this ridiculous little sweater she'd bought him. It was so over the top, so Maria, that I couldn't help but laugh. I double-tapped the post, left a quick comment, something like, "Max is rocking the winter look," and kept scrolling. You know how it is. Memes, travel pics, random food videos. Just mindless noise to fill the silence. A few minutes later, I refreshed my feed. Maria's post was gone. I frowned at my phone. Weird. Maybe she decided she didn't like it and deleted it? She could be picky about her photos, always second-guessing the angle or the lighting. I shrugged, sent her a quick message. "Hey, what happened to Max's sweater pic? It was adorable," and went back to scrolling. But Maria didn't reply. The next day I saw her at work. She came in late, which was unusual for her. Maria's the kind of person who's always bright, always cheerful, always 5 minutes early to everything. But that morning, she wasn't herself. Her shoulders were slumped, her smile was half-hearted, and there was this heaviness in her eyes that I couldn't ignore. "You okay?" I asked. She nodded, but her gaze didn't meet mine. "Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired." I wanted to ask more, to press her about it, but the day got busy, and I let it slide. People have off days, right? I figured she'd tell me if something was really wrong. That night, I was lying in bed again, scrolling through Instagram out of habit. Maria's post popped back into my head, and curiosity got the better of me. I went to her profile to see if she'd reposted it. The picture wasn't there, but there was something else. A black square. No caption, no likes, no comments. Just a blank black post sitting in the middle of her feed. I stared at it, confused. What the hell was that? I tapped on it, expecting the app to glitch or crash or something. It didn't. The post opened, but the screen stayed blank, completely black. Then the app froze, kicked me out, and threw me back to my home screen. I tried again. Same thing. Now my chest was tightening, and my stomach twisted in a way I couldn't explain. I texted Maria. "Hey, your Instagram's acting weird. Did you post a black square?" 3 dots appeared. My heart skipped, but then they disappeared. No reply. That's when I heard it. The buzzing. At first I thought it was my phone, but no. It wasn't that. It was faint, barely audible. This low, vibrating hum coming from somewhere behind me. It wasn't constant. It pulsed, like it was alive. I turned, scanning the room, but there was nothing. Just shadows. Just silence, except for that sound crawling along the edge of my hearing. My chest tightened, and my breath came in shallow bursts. I tried to shake it off. "It's just your mind playing tricks, Alexis," and shoved my phone under my pillow. I turned off the lamp and lay there, staring into the dark until I fell into an uneasy sleep. The next morning, I woke up to a text from Maria. It wasn't what I expected. "Don't look at it again." What? I stared at the message, trying to make sense of it. Don't look at what? The black square? Her profile? Before I could reply, I opened Instagram out of pure instinct, my fingers moving on their own. But when I searched her name, her account was gone. Completely gone. No posts, no profile picture. Nothing. I texted her again, but the message didn't go through. It didn't even deliver. I called her, straight to voicemail. Panic started clawing at the edges of my mind. I tried calling our coworkers, but no one had seen her since yesterday. Now it wasn't just weird, it was terrifying. That night I couldn't stop thinking about it, about her message, about that black square. I tried to distract myself with Netflix, with YouTube, with anything, but my mind kept circling back to her. I opened Instagram again, and that's when I saw it. The black square was back. This time it wasn't on her profile, it was on mine. I felt the blood drain from my face as I stared at the post. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I didn't post this. I know I didn't. I tapped on it, and a video began to play. At first, I couldn't make sense of it. The footage was dark, grainy, shaky. But slowly, I realized what I was looking at. My bedroom. The camera was pointed at my bed. At me. I was lying there, asleep, completely still. The angle was high, like the video had been filmed from the ceiling. My breath caught in my throat, and my body froze. I swiped at the screen, trying to close the app, but it wouldn't respond. The video kept playing, and that's when I heard it again. The buzzing. This time it wasn't faint. It was loud, vibrating through the walls, through my chest. I dropped my phone, stumbled out of bed, and ran into the hallway. The buzzing followed me, growing louder and louder until it felt like it was coming from inside me. And then, it stopped. The silence that followed was suffocating. The next morning, I packed a bag and left. I couldn't stay in that apartment. I stayed with a friend, tried to convince myself it was all some bizarre prank or a nightmare I couldn't shake. But the fear stayed with me. I thought deleting Instagram would help. I thought cutting myself off from it would make it stop. It didn't. 2 nights later, I was going through my camera roll, deleting old photos to clear space, when I found something that wasn't supposed to be there. A picture of me, sitting on my bed, taken from the corner of the room. I stared at it, my heart pounding so loud I couldn't hear anything else. And then my phone buzzed. A new notification. It was from Instagram, the app I had deleted. The message simply said, "Look behind you." I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I felt the air shift, heavy and cold against the back of my neck. Slowly, I turned my head. The room was empty, but I knew I wasn't alone. This is Very Scariest Horror Story number 2. It all started with a DM. At first, it didn't seem like much. A notification like any other. I was lounging on my couch, scrolling through Instagram like I always did before bed. You know, half looking at memes, liking vacation photos from people I barely know, and watching random videos. It was a Thursday night. Nothing special. The living room was dim, lit only by my phone screen and the warm glow of a lamp in the corner. My cat, Jasper, was curled up on the back of the couch, occasionally flicking his tail. Then it came. A message request. I glanced at the username. At Quinn, look closer. My name. I frowned, my thumb hovering over the notification. It wasn't the first time I'd gotten spam requests, but this one felt different. It had my name in it. Against my better judgment, I opened it. The message was simple. 2 words. Check again. My stomach tightened. Check what? I stared at the screen, waiting for, I don't know what. A follow-up? Some stupid punchline? Nothing came. I shook my head and set my phone down on the coffee table. It was probably just some weird bot trying to get a reaction. I tried to brush it off, but I couldn't shake this nagging feeling. I stood up, carrying my empty mug into the kitchen. Jasper let out a soft, sleepy meow as I walked by, and I smiled. His calmness was comforting. Everything felt normal again. Quiet, until Jasper hissed. My heart jumped. Jasper never hissed. He was the most easygoing cat in the world. Nothing fazed him. But now his fur was bristling, his body tense, his eyes fixed on something across the room. On my phone. "Jasper?" I whispered. My voice was barely audible. The phone buzzed again. I froze. Slowly, I reached for it, my hands trembling. Another message from the same account. This time, it was a photo. When I opened it, my blood ran cold. It was me, sitting on the couch. The photo had been taken just moments ago. The angle was strange, high, tilted, like it had been taken from above. My breath caught in my throat. I whipped around, scanning the room. Nothing. No one. The door was locked, the windows were closed, but I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was there. My phone buzzed again. "Look outside." My body stiffened. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. Slowly, as if every movement required enormous effort, I walked to the window. I pulled the curtain back just enough to peek through. The street below was empty. The only sound was the faint hum of a street lamp, flickering in the darkness. And then I saw it. Someone was standing on the sidewalk. They were facing my window. I couldn't see their face or make out any details. It was too dark. But I knew. I knew they were looking at me. I let the curtain fall and stumbled back, my chest tightening. My phone buzzed in my hand and I nearly dropped it. Another message. "Don't hide. I see you." I couldn't breathe. My legs felt weak, like they might give out beneath me. I tried to calm myself. Maybe this was some sort of elaborate prank. Maybe it was just someone messing with me. But the dread in my chest told me otherwise. The phone buzzed again. A video this time. I didn't want to open it. I didn't want to see. But I couldn't stop myself. My thumb hovered over the screen for what felt like an eternity before I tapped it. The video started. It was dark, shaky. The camera panned across a room, a familiar room, my living room. The camera lingered on the couch, the coffee table, the empty mug I'd left behind. Then it turned, toward the window, toward me. I gasped, dropping the phone onto the floor. Jasper hissed again, louder this time, his wide eyes staring at the hallway. My stomach churned. I grabbed the closest thing to me, a ceramic vase, and crept toward the hallway, every nerve in my body screaming at me to run. The door to my bedroom was ajar. I hadn't left it like that. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice cracking. No answer. I nudged the door open with the vase, holding my breath. The room was empty. But then I heard it, a creak, behind me. I spun around so fast I nearly dropped the vase. The hallway was empty, but the front door, it was wide open. I ran to the door, slamming it shut and locking it. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely turn the deadbolt. My mind was racing, panic clawing at my throat. And then my phone buzzed again. Too late. The lights flickered, and then they went out. Darkness swallowed the room, and the silence was deafening. The only light was from my phone screen, glowing faintly in the blackness. I stood there clutching the vase, my breath shallow and ragged. Jasper let out a low, mournful wail from somewhere in the shadows. And then I heard it, a slow, deliberate inhale. "Quinn," a voice, right behind me. I screamed, swinging the vase with all my strength. It shattered against the wall, the sound echoing in the dark. The lights flickered back on, flooding the room with a warm, familiar glow. But something felt wrong. The air was heavy, suffocating, like the walls themselves were closing in. Buzz. The notification read, "Live video started." I opened it. The feed showed my apartment. It showed me, standing there holding the broken vase, trembling, and in the doorway behind me, there was someone, tall, motionless, watching. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. The video ended. The next thing I remember is waking up on the floor. The sun was streaming through the window. Jasper was curled up next to me, purring softly, like nothing had happened. The door was locked. The vase was intact. My phone showed no messages, no videos, no proof. But I know it wasn't a dream. I deleted my Instagram account that day. But sometimes, late at night, I still feel it, that heavy, suffocating presence. And every now and then, I hear it, a faint buzz and a whisper. Check again. This is very disturbing. Instagram horror story number 3. They say social media is supposed to connect us, keep us entertained, distracted, even comforted. But what happens when it connects you to something? Something you can't explain? Something that feels wrong? It started on a Friday night, one of those nights where you just want to zone out, forget about everything, and unwind. I was scrolling through Instagram as usual, letting my thumb mindlessly swipe through the endless feed. Puppy videos, memes, cute travel photos. It's all just background noise, right? But then, something changed. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't even know how I ended up there. It just appeared. A profile. At Silent Observer 01. No picture. No bio. Just one post. I almost skipped past it, but something made me stop. I don't know what it was, but curiosity got the best of me. I tapped on it. It was a video. At first, the screen was just black. I stared at it for a while, waiting. Nothing. I was about to swipe away when I saw something. A faint outline. A door. It was only slightly illuminated from the other side. Just there. I waited, expecting something to happen. Some noise, a jump scare, a sudden movement. But nothing happened. It was just that door. Sitting there, perfectly still. And yet I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. I closed the app. It's nothing, I muttered to myself. Just some weird video. But it didn't feel like nothing. Just as I set my phone down on the coffee table, it buzzed. A DM. From at Silent Observer 01. The message. Watching. I froze. I didn't want to open it. I didn't want to look. But my fingers moved before I could stop them. I clicked on the message, and it was a photo. Of me. Sitting on the couch. Right then. Right now. My heart dropped into my stomach. I glanced around the room. The curtains were closed, the doors locked. I was alone. No one could see me. But there it was, proof that someone was watching me. I tried to convince myself it was a prank, a glitch, a hacker, anything but this. But it didn't feel like a joke. It felt real. I blocked the account. I shut down the app. But my hands were shaking. My chest was tight. And the feeling didn't go away. I didn't sleep that night. I stayed up, staring at the ceiling, hearing every creak in the walls, every gust of wind that made the windows rattle. The next morning, I thought I could put it behind me. I convinced myself it was nothing. But then my phone buzzed again, another follow request, at Silent Observer 02. I stared at it. Something twisted inside me. I didn't want to open it, but I couldn't help it. I clicked on the profile. Once again, no bio, no picture, just one post. And when I played it, when I saw that video again, it was the same door. But this time the door was open, just a crack. My breath caught in my throat. I locked the account, blocked it, but it kept coming. Another request. At Silent Observer 03. Then another. At Silent Observer 04. Each account had the same eerie video, the same door. But now the door was opening wider. I couldn't ignore it anymore. My hands were clammy as I blocked each one after the other. I kept blocking them, hoping it would end. But I knew it wouldn't. I was never alone. The buzzing didn't stop. Then, another DM. This time, I wasn't prepared for what I saw. It was a photo of me, sitting on the couch, taken from the doorway. I felt a cold sweat break out on my skin. Number. This couldn't be real. I ran through the apartment, checking every room, looking under the bed, in the closet, everywhere. But there was no one, just the silence. That horrible, suffocating silence. I tried to breathe. I tried to tell myself it was okay, but it didn't feel okay. I knew someone was watching me, and I couldn't escape it. Then my phone buzzed again. Another message, another video. I hesitated. I didn't want to see it. My heart was pounding in my chest, but something inside me, curiosity, fear, I don't know, made me click play. It showed me, sitting on the couch, just like the photo. But the camera wasn't in the apartment. It was floating above me, like someone was standing above me watching. I dropped the phone. I didn't even know what to do with myself. The room felt smaller. The walls felt closer, the air thick and suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I grabbed my keys. I didn't care if I locked the door. I didn't care about anything. I just ran. I ran until I couldn't feel my legs. I ended up at my best friend's place, but I couldn't tell her the truth. I couldn't tell her what had been happening. The next morning, I went back to my apartment. I was almost convinced I was just being paranoid. Maybe it was just some weird glitch, some trick of the light. But when I picked up my phone, there was a new notification. At Silent Observer 05 tagged you in a post. My breath caught in my throat. I didn't want to look, but my fingers moved before my brain could stop them. I clicked on the post. It was a video. The hallway of my apartment. Slowly, the camera moved toward my door, each step deliberate. I could hear the faint creak of the floorboards. The hair on my neck stood up as the camera stopped in front of my door. I couldn't breathe. The camera stared at the door, stared at my apartment number. I called the police. They came. They searched. They found nothing. The officer didn't take me seriously. He said it was probably a prank or a hacker. He told me to just lay low for a while, but I couldn't lay low. I couldn't forget. That night I stayed with my friend again, but I didn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. The next morning, I saw the new notification. Silent Observer 06 tagged you in a post. This time it wasn't a video. It was a photo of me, sleeping, in my friend's guest room. I didn't even think. I just grabbed my things, packed a bag, and drove. I didn't know where I was going. I just couldn't stay. I deleted my Instagram account that day. I thought that would be it, but it wasn't. Last night I got a text. No name, no number, just one word. Watching. And attached was a live feed. The video showed me, sitting in my car, on the side of the road. Right now. I don't know who they are, I don't know how they're doing this, but I know they're not going to stop. I just don't know how much longer I can run.